Yeah.
And also, just kind of, if you could take us through the process of getting him, identifying him, recruiting him, and how you're able to land him, get him coming.
Yeah, I mean, he's been great. Getting to know and also coaching him. He's been, you know, fantastic in the classroom and also on the court. As a player, he's somebody that can do a number of different things on both ends of the floor. He's got great size. He can handle it, make plays with the ball in his hands, can shoot, score at many different levels, mid-range, get to the bucket, excellent passer. Somebody that had a burning desire to be here and to be a part of this program. And as soon as he just walks into a room, it just brightens up. He just has that type of personality, and I've really enjoyed being around him.
When reading scouting reports, and much so before, but more reading scouting reports, combo guard can do a lot of stuff on the ball, off the ball. Can you tell us kind of what you've seen in that respect, and how many different ways do you think you can utilize him? Is he a 1-3-3 kind of guy?
Well, he can do all those things. I've spoken to you guys before that, I don't have numbers like basketball players, and have to play on both ends of the floor and have to be able to be impactful in a number of different areas, and Luka can do that. As I said before, his ability to handle a basketball and pass and score in many different ways, his versatility is something that is going to be fun to watch this year.
How did you find him?
I went to Montenegro.
You knew he was there.
Yeah, no, I did not. I was at the beach and I saw him shooting threes, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" No, I mean, it's the same as anything when you're evaluating talent, whether it's high school, transfer portal, internationally. The same type of evaluation, and also in regards to recruiting, whether it's high school or transfer portal or international, it's the two boxes that need to be checked. And I've told you this before: it has to be a want and a need. And Luka, from a basketball standpoint, and also his personality, was a want and a need for our program, and I'm very thankful that he's here.
Hubert, when you were building this roster, what was on the checklist for what you wanted to accomplish, and how do you feel about where you are going into preseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think, a couple things, I thought we needed to be bigger. Positional size, we needed more size. I think the number one determining factor of an outcome of the game is rebounding. I thought defensively we were okay, rebounding percentage-wise, but offensive rebounding was nothing near where we needed to be. I wanted to become more versatile. We have different types of lineups, and I feel like with this roster, we've been able to identify both of those things.
Hubert, replacing a guy like R.J. Davis is...
He's coming back. He was here this weekend, and I'm not letting him go to the Lakers, so I'll call J.J. Redick later today.
But, I mean, you have a guy in Seth Trimble who's played a lot of ball.
Yeah.
Played a lot of college ball. I mean, bit of a two-part question here. Has he been kind of the guy to step into that leadership void that we making him buy his
Okay, two things. First one, the basketball piece. He has stepped up into that leadership role. I mean, Seth throughout his career, has been an accomplished player, and for him to stay at one institution is not normal. His leadership has been off the chart this summer, not only like verbally, but also just the way that he has led on the court in regards to extra workouts, conditioning, drill work, practice. It feels really good to have Seth be our leader of our team, and I'm so thankful that he's here.
Coach, obviously, with roster turnover, which is always now with the portal and NIL, some of the challenges getting the players to gel together. What are some of the things that you're working on to get the players to know each other on and off the court?
Well, the biggest thing for me is relationships. You know, I tell guys all the time in recruiting that like you can't play for me unless you know me, and I can't coach you unless I know you. And so, the only way I can get to know you and you can get to know me is we got to spend a ton of time together. That's not on the phone, on TikTok or Twitter or anything like that. It's face to face, being able to talk to each other, and we spend a ton of time together. You know, one of the things that's different than when I was in school, we have the ability to be on the court during the summer. And so we've had a number of practices, individual workouts, in combination with spending time together off the court that has put us in a position where I really like the chemistry and the makeup of this team.
Hubert, you mentioned the size, obviously. Henry's going to give you that. But, versatility-wise, he definitely adds that too defensively.
Yeah.
What does having someone like him who can play multiple different defensive coverages do for you that maybe you couldn't do as much as last year?
Yeah, I mean, like Henry is, you know, he's got tremendous size, and it's not just blocking shots, but it's altering shots as well. And you know, he's a really good rebounder, and so, you know, throughout his career, he's been able to, you know, play a number of different defenses, whether it's different coverages on ball screens or being able to switch. He can guard guards out on the perimeter, and you know, teams and individuals that have the ability to do that make them a really good defensive team, and that's something that's a high priority for us. I talked about rebounding, but you know, you got to defend. We got to be a really good defensive team, and when you have someone like Henry, who also is older, and he's very vocal, which allows us to have really good communication, that's something that's a huge benefit for us.
Coach, you've obviously gone through the whole off-season transfer portal thing a number of times. This is the first time that you're doing it with a GM now.
Yeah.
Can you just explain how exactly you work with him and how did that change your off-season kind of transfer portal approach this time?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as I said, you know, in regards to the transfer portal, the two boxes that need to be checked is a want and a need. Obviously, you know, Jim is a part of our team and a part of our program, and I'm really thankful that he's here. We were friends prior to him becoming the general manager. We work extremely well together. The thing that there's a number of great things about him, but his burning desire, because just like all of us as coaches have gone here, you know, to Carolina, he just has a burning desire for this program and this university to be successful. And so we work extremely well together, and just like all of us on the staff, we want us to be successful.
Just to follow up on that, it's never easy recruiting, obviously, but
Yeah.
did it make your job easier in that regard to have someone like a wingman, so to speak, to kind of help you through these processes with the portal and high school recruiting?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, our entire staff being able to navigate the changes in college basketball, I think, you know, as I said before, we all really work well together in terms of evaluation. It's as simple as a want and a need, and those are the things that we evaluate, whether it's in the transfer portal from high school. You guys talked about internationally, and in terms of the makeup of the team, those are things that we've done in the past, and those are things that we've continued to do.
Hubert, what sort of is his role? I mean, you've been doing this with your staff of assistants and you, and now you bring someone else into that who has maybe a different role. Like, how does it change in terms of how you move through the evaluation process or the signing process? Like, where does he have the biggest impact or change on the way you guys do things from a roster building?
Well, I think, you know, he brings something to the table. For, you know, 27 years he was an agent, so this is someone, and he's a lawyer, so that's someone that obviously has connections with you know, a number of different other agencies, his connections to the NBA. He's someone that can write and read and understand contracts, and so those are things that a skill set that is a huge benefit for us. And as I said before, it has worked really well, and I've enjoyed and loved him being a part of this team.
And we'll just start out a quick follow-up on that sort of skill set. What, I guess, or like, who did the responsibility for those things that he's not taking over fall on, let's say, like last year?
Well, I mean, that's a hard question to answer because the rules have changed every year. I mean, so many things have changed from the 5 years that I've been head coach. The only thing that I can talk about is in reference to Jim being here now. And He's just been a huge support, and I'm glad that he's here.
There's so much money in college athletics now. Are there still players out there that want to come to North Carolina just because it's a great school to play basketball out there? Are there still players like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hard to
No, they're not. I mean, maybe I'm naive in saying they are, but I really believe that it's important to a number of kids to not only put on this uniform and run out of that tunnel and play on that floor, but to also be a part of this university and get an education here, and also be a part of this community and being able to serve in the community and be able to give back. And that's something that we do with our guys. I always tell them, you know, your job and your responsibility is to be elite in 3 areas: on the court, off the court, and in the classroom. And all of our guys not only do a terrific job of that, they embrace it. And the guys that we recruit and the guys that we bring in buy into those 3 things as well.
One guy I wanted to ask you about is Kyan, obviously coming in from Colorado State, having, you know, NCAA tournament experience, things like that. When you were looking at his game, what stood out to you about, you know, his style as a guard and just the different elements that he brings to the table?
Yeah, the versatility, just his ability to be able to, from an offensive standpoint, make plays, whether it's with the ball in his hand coming off ball screens or off the ball actions, whether it's flares or staggers or wide pins, and just his versatility on the offensive end, being able to do that. He's an excellent defensive player. You talked about him already been in college 2 years and the success that he had in the NCAA tournament. So him coming here not only brings a high level of skill from a basketball standpoint, but also experience, and it's something that we were looking for.
One thing that people often point to when it comes to him is the high 3-point percentage as well.
Yeah, I like that too.
Maybe opening, and I know this is a new team, but how do you kind of see that opening things up for you guys?
I think, from an offensive standpoint, people talk about spacing. The only way that you can get spacing is have good shooting. You could put 5 guys and spread them out all over the floor, and if they can't shoot, there are going to be 5 defenders in the lane. And so you have to have guys that have the ability to shoot the basketball, and throughout his career, he's been a great 3-point shooter.
With Caleb Wilson, just in general, I mean, everybody knows he's talented, but what are you most excited about what he can bring to what you want to do on the court?
Yeah, I mean, from a basketball standpoint, I think you guys know he's just uber talented. I mean, his length and his athleticism, he can handle the basketball at that size, finish around the rim, shoot, mid-range, defensively, can do a number of different things. As much as I can talk about how impressed I am of him on the court, I'm even more impressed of him as a kid and a teammate. Everything that he talks about is never about him. And I mean that. Like, everything that he talks about is about the team, and it's about North Carolina. Everything. And for someone highly ranked coming in here to not only talk about it, but only really be concerned about the welfare and the benefit of the team is something that is rare. And it's something that I really enjoy and love being around every day.
Hubert, continuing, just going back to, building this year's roster, y'all have a lot more height this year, going with Henry, bringing Jaron back, returning James Brown and such. How much for a team that, and you emphasize rebounding, you talk about how important it is in games, how much easier, or how will it change how you guys play this year? How much easier will it make knowing that you have a bunch of height to a line and the post and running y'all's offense?
Well, no, I just, obviously, the added height that we have in regards to defensively, but I would also say the versatility to be able to do different things on the defensive end. In order to be good, you got to defend and rebound and take care of the basketball, but being in a position to be elite defensively, on both ends of the floor. I talked about, you know, defensive rebounding percentage, but a huge staple of Carolina basketball, even before I was head coach, with Coach Williams, was offensive rebounding. And so that's an area that's a major emphasis for us. And, you know, having that positional height, having that height in the front court just allows us to be able to do that and do the things that we want to do.
Hubert, Jaren's going to be able to give you guys a lot on the court, but just from a personal standpoint, how cool is it to bring in someone who was such a big local star just down the road a year after you did the same thing with Drake?
Yeah, it is. It's you know, I've known Jaren and his family for a very long time, and so thankful that Jaren decided to come back here and to come back home. He's a great kid. He's someone else that, you know, had a burning desire to be a part of this program and a part of this team. You know, him being at 6'10", one of the things that really impressed me last year when we played him was his ability on the defensive end. They put him on RJ, and he did a really good job getting around screens at 6'10", and so his versatility defensively of being able to guard multiple positions. He's a really good three-point shooter, terrific size, and so very hard to find that in your town. And so I'm so happy he's here.
Was he guarding again during the alumni game?
Huh?
Was Jaren guarding RJ again during the alumni scrimmages?
We're not allowed to watch, so I don't know.
Hey, Coach, you know, speaking of Caleb, how important is it to have veterans like Jaren and Henry around him to kind of help him develop as a freshman? Because there's a lot of pressure that's being put on Caleb.
Well, I think it's important to have, and something that I really like about this team is the versatility in terms of classification. You know, you have obviously seniors like Seth, but you know, you've got, you know, juniors and sophomores and guys that have been there and done it before. And so to have that type of experience around Caleb, I think it's always been good. You know, like when I came to Carolina, my senior was, you know, Steve Bucknell and Jeff Lebo. And so, like, they showed me how to prepare, how to practice in order to put me in a position how to play. When I got drafted by the Knicks, I had veterans like Doc Rivers and Patrick Ewing and John Starks and Charles Oakley. And so Caleb coming in and seeing guys like Seth and Henry and what has allowed them to be successful throughout their career, I think that's a huge benefit for a young player to be able to emulate and be able to do the things in his own game.
Yeah. Hubert, what about Henry did you guys identify so quickly? And along with that, it seemed like you guys liked him pretty quickly in the core process.
Yeah.
Along with that, how did some of the past cycles inform maybe your decision on a big man? And you know, it seemed like you guys were more intentional, more purposeful to go get that sort of lockdown quickly and maybe build around him with the class.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree that we were more forceful of getting somebody with size this year compared to other years. You know, when Henry decided to go into the transfer portal, it was just somebody that we, as I said before, it was a want and a need. And after getting to know him and doing research on who he is as a person and his character, it was, to me, it was a no-brainer that this would be somebody that we would love to be a part of our team and a part of our program.
Just to follow up really quick, were you able to build around him, so to speak, when you were able to get him pretty quickly out of the game?
Yeah, as I said before, it wasn't necessarily, you know, build around him. It was to build a team and continue to grow the team that we felt like we needed in order to compete at a high level this year. And so obviously having Henry, someone with that size and that type of experience, was something that we wanted and something that we needed. And as I said before, just really happy Henry's here.
To go back to Jaren, how different was the pitch re-recruiting him the second time from the first time?
It's the same pitch.
and obviously in this era where there are guys who are going to be available year after year,
I would say that the pitch was the same, but having recruited him before, we weren't starting from ground zero. You know, like there was a relationship there. There were conversations that had already taken place. We knew each other, and I think that was a huge benefit. That we went into the process once he got into the transfer portal at a place where we knew each other, and that made it a lot better.
By the way, he didn't shrink. He was listed as 6'11" the first 2 years, and I saw some people say, he said he was never 6'11", so he's 6'10". All right. Things you learn.
He didn't shrink? Apparently he did.
We have smaller tape measures.
Okay.
All right.
But one question about rev share and Jim.
Yeah.
Is Jim being an agent, is he learning how to evaluate from you, and are you learning how to negotiate from him?
I'm a basketball coach. And so, you know, in regards to NIL and revenue share, I will say this, that, you know, our program has gotten, I'm really thankful, we've gotten tremendous support from Bubba, from the athletic department, tremendous support from the university, and also great support from our donors. And so I'm just really thankful for that.
Have you had a chance to talk to Steve Newmark, the
Yeah.
AD in waiting?
Yeah.
Give your thoughts on that process and your
We,
conversation with him.
it's been great conversation. It's not a conversation. We have a relationship. We see each other almost every day. And so it's been great getting to know him. And yesterday I got to spend some time with his wife and two of his children, and spending time with my wife as well. So it's been great.
On the surface with Jonathan Powell, and Mr. Reed is he's a sprinter shooter and an A-plus defender. What's below the surface? What else is there to his game that you've seen that you really like?
Yeah, I mean, he can put the ball on the floor. You know, he can really, he can make plays off the dribble, not just shooting, but also distributing and passing. He's really aggressive on the offensive end. He's got good positional size. You talked about his defense. That's is really good. And I just love his competitiveness. You know, just always wanting to compete. Whether it's just a simple drill or obviously on 5-on-5 pickup practice, he brings a level of competitiveness that brings everybody else along to play at that level.
His rebounding last year picked up as the season went on.
Yeah,
Do you envision him as being a guy to be a really effective offensive rebounder?
I do. I really do. And I urge him every day to get to the offensive glass, because I think he can be really elite at that. You know, and that's going to be a job or requirement for a number of the guys. But for him, I think that's an area that he can really excel at.
Maybe back to,
Follow up on the question I had, the negotiation and evaluation, so Jim's been an agent.
I'm not going to go into detail in regards to, this is what we do on a daily basis with Jim.
Does he help you with negotiation and you help him with evaluation? Because that's been your strength and his strength in your jobs. Follow me?
No.
Well, an agent may not be a great evaluator. He's got to be a negotiator.
Yeah.
Negotiate contracts. Coaches need to be evaluators so they know who to recruit.
Okay.
So is it both you helping each other in that regard?
Well, I think all of our staff complement each other in regards to what we bring to the table. All of our, we're all different people. We all have different gifts and talents. We all have different personalities, and they all work really well together. I think the end goal is, for all of us is a love and appreciation for this program and for this university, and for us to be the best that we can be. And so, however that the process, in which it goes, like, that's something that's really important to us, and all of us as a staff work really well together. And I love coming to work every day.
Shelby?
yeah, going back to just Central and his leadership, obviously Armando Bacot was kind of as a guy that might tweet at people in the portal and kind of took on almost like a recruiter role.
Okay.
in his,
I don't tweet, so I don't.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm curious, just with Seth, and you guys are busy with all these players and bringing in all these freshmen, just what kind of role he took on, and not only you talk about welcoming the freshmen, but also the.
Are you talking about Armando or?
Seth.
Oh, Seth. Okay, okay, okay.
But if you took on any sort of like similar role and also welcoming in all these transfers that are coming for visits and
Yeah.
also to start practice.
He has done that. You know, he's an ambassador for this program. He really is. You know, I mean, for him to be here 4 years, he's done a lot. He's seen a lot, and within his personality, he has done similar things as Armando. One of the things that's really important to Seth is not only for Carolina to be good, but for Carolina to be good, you know, when he leaves. And this place means something to him. And the way that he leads and the way that he carries himself every day puts our program in a position to be successful.
Time for just a couple more.
You like ice cream?
I do like ice cream, but dairy and I aren't very good friends, so we stay away from each other. So I talked to Seth, and I said there better be some dairy, you know, free options at Ben and Jerry's.
If he has that, do you bank on getting some freebies from him?
No. If you're a business owner, you can't be giving freebies to everybody. I will pay.
You could manipulate some playing time.
I'm not going to do that. I need them out there on the floor.
Hey, Coach, so why have European players been much more attractive to college coaches compared to years past?
European book?
European players.
I'm not going to go out and say they've been more attractive now than they were in the past. I mean, as I said before, we're looking at wants and needs, and this year brought, you know, Yvonne, Luca, and Henry from Arizona, and so we're always evaluating our team, always wanting to be the best that we can be, and whether it's, you know, high school transfer, international, that's something that we evaluate and look at every year.
We've had, what, Matt, we counted up 9 or 10 European players in the last 25 years, so from Germany, Netherlands, England, all over.
Yeah.
Well, what was your reaction to one of your players buying a Franklin Street business?
I didn't think it was real. I thought it was, what is it, ChatGPT and AI? I didn't think it was real, but I'm really happy for him.